Yo, what's up, guys? So in this video, I interview Samir. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and enjoy the content. Yo, what's going on, guys? We got Samir here. What's up, man? What's going on?
Hi, Jay. How are you? I'm glad to be on your show. I love your show. I love everything you've been doing since day one, and I'm happy to be part of it, man.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know we got the times mixed up a little bit. My 10 a.m. I know probably watching this differently. This is recorded. So 10 a.m. was your 7 a.m. And you're like, whoa, what up?
Yes, that totally messed with me. I thought the interview was going to be at 7:30 p.m. And for this, I apologize to everyone that sees me looking like this, because I actually was bringing down a tree in my backyard when I got RJ's message if I was ready. So I had to rush and try to get this thing going.
Awesome. Now we're chatting a little bit before we press the record button. I just wanted to tell you thank you for also making the posts in the group, in the Facebook group and stuff like that. And I see you posting in other Facebook print on demand communities too as well. And dude, you're bringing some value, some fire, some knowledge, and you're kind of being very honest with it too, and trying to help people what they post. Right. And you know that you're getting engagement with it and you're helping people as you make the post, you're in there. You know what I mean? It's a really good, like, in detailed post, how to do research and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people struggle with that in the community, and you're sitting there helping them. Like,
it's to me, it was an alarm when I had this conversation with myself a while back, and I thought, like, as unbelievable as it might sound, most people struggle with the basics, with like real basics. Like when we say something as simple as find a niche, and people think, like, we thought that we just gave them a step. To them, that's not a step, that's an ocean. What do you mean find a niche? What's a niche? And the proof of that is that I see people from all around the world coming in the groups and posting somebody's quote, like a picture of somebody's quote, and asking, is this niche safe to upload to? And then we say, that's not a niche. That's somebody's quote. Somebody came up with that quote or that design and created. That's not a niche. That's not what a niche is. Making like a quote about carpenters is somebody's quote about carpenters, but the carpenter niche is a niche that you can go into, not that quote. That quote is not a niche. So I figured maybe I can break down those steps and try to help people understand each one of them at like a boring type of, I'm not even going to use this because it's going to sound like a bad joke, but I was going to refer to the books, something for dummies. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so dummies for something.
Yes. So break it down. And sometimes when I try to understand something, I just hope that somebody can break it down for me to a dummies level. Like, just tell me step by step, boringly, how I can do it. And this might help most people, but for the people that are advanced, they might see my post as a little boring to them. Like, why are you explaining to me what a niche is? What are you explaining to me how to do research and what steps I should follow in research? Because he already knows that. But unfortunately, even for the advanced, a lot of them still doing the things the wrong way. A lot of them still think that finding a successful seller is finding a successful niche is going on Amazon, finding the best seller, and basically just changing a few things and uploading it and calling it their own. And that is not research. That is just copying someone who did research.
No, for sure. Just props to you, because I see that, and you're not making a post to, like, literally in like some of the groups. I had a few people reach out to me like, I can't make a post in some of these groups because when I make a post, everyone seems to hop on and bash me and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, it's not the way to go. But also too, just like certain things that are going on in the world, you have to be careful with certain things that you post because it triggers people. And I understand that, but still at the same time, you're being mean to somebody and trying to put them down. I don't care what you believe in, what the hell you believe in. If you're going to sit there and belittle somebody to make yourself feel better,
And that is another funny thing that you brought up, because sometimes people will have a preconceived idea of what they want to think of you, not what they think of you. They're not going to evaluate you or judge you or whatever. They're just they already came in with this idea. And unfortunately, and this is true, okay, let's call things what they are. A lot of times somebody would come in and find your name, Abu Bashar Abdul Rahim. Directly they think that, okay, you're a copycat, you're this, you're that, you're whatever, you're from some country that's going to copy my design and do this and stuff like that. But they don't know that you're just a person just like them. And they're not willing to give you that chance. And they will team up on you. And even if they don't show it, like you would see so and so would write some reply, would just say excellent, and you would see 17 hearts and 28 thumbs up. And somebody would say an answer that is actually more detailed and more helpful, and you wouldn't see a single thumb up or whatever.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Because his name is Abdul Rashid Babu Bashar, or you know what I mean, or something like that. So we can tell that there is that. I wouldn't say racism, but I would say anyway. Okay, you know what I meant.
No, you got it, man. No, I got it, man.
Decided not to cooperate. Discriminate.
Okay, basically, yes, discriminating. It's the same kind of like same form. It's going down that direction. But the point is like when you're making posts in the Facebook group, you actually have good intentions behind it, and that's really cool. And yeah, I think that's really awesome because you're trying to help people understand their research when it comes to doing research on print on demand, niche research, and all that stuff. Now, so what got you started with print on demand? What's your story? How'd you stumble upon this?
Okay, I would say that I had a little bit of an unbalanced life between things that I wanted to do and things that I should do for a living. I was into sports, and then I found myself working in the restaurant business, and I was a chef for years. And even in that, I did it with a passion. It was I did it in a way where I enjoy what I make. I wanna like every dish for me was a piece of art. I wanted to bring the best flavors of every. But then after a while, I realized that it was labor. And when I say a while, I'm talking about 15 years. I realized it was just labor. I'm just selling my life by the hour to somebody else. So that's when I started doing Amazon FBA, and I was doing good, but it had no creative side, so it still wasn't creative. I mean, you could still use your IQ to find what's some retail arbitrage and online arbitrage and stuff to find what some good sellers or whatever. But it still had no artistic side to it. And then when Merged by Amazon came on, I thought like this is perfect. If I can make a living creating designs and selling them to people, then this would be the perfect thing for me. And unfortunately for me, I did not know anything about Photoshop or any design software. Like I joke, if I opened Photoshop back then, I couldn't tell you if it's a male or a female. Nothing. I knew nothing. So I just decided to take it from there. I hired some designers, even though I wasn't a designer myself. When I paid them my money and they sent me some designs, I thought like this stuff was subpar. This stuff wasn't gonna do it. I gotta learn this thing myself. So I started watching every video. It was long and boring in the beginning. This is what I keep telling people. It was long and boring.
Yeah.
I started learning every technique one at a time, like little simplest commands and stuff, until I found myself creating some decent designs and then better designs and better designs. And now, without bragging, I'll tell you that I can create designs that are better than 98% of the stuff that those Fiverr designers create for their buyers.
So you're saying that you're going to start selling on Fiverr soon too?
No,
I'm just kidding.
No, that would be that wouldn't feel artistic to me at all. Like I could not do that.
No, that's cool. No, that's awesome because you literally first you said it was boring, right? Usually the hard stuff it gets boring after a while, right? The hard stuff, like the most, because like the first week you get very excited, and then like the second week you're like, all right, I'm over this already, and then the third week and then the fourth week you're like, come on, I don't know how to do nothing yet, and then you take a little break and then you come back at it again, and then you realize like, dude, this is really easy. I know how to do it. So No, but you said that you were a chef, right? So what type of what did you cook? Come on, you can't let that get past me right
Yeah,
there.
I cooked international cuisine. I cooked international cuisine. That included some Italian cuisine, some French cuisine, and mostly Mediterranean. And of
Uh,
course, I say Mediterranean. Both France and Italy are part of the Mediterranean, so I kind of focused on in that type of cuisine. I'll tell you a little tip right now if anyone wants to try it. Little secret: if you can just grab some Greek yogurt and dried onions, onion flakes, uh, and freeze dried garlic,
mhm.
some freshly crushed black pepper, and supposedly you're not supposed to put any salt. So I would say don't put salt yet, and marinate your steak.
Yeah.
Marinate it overnight. Put on the grill the next morning or the next day, and you will have the juiciest, most tender, most flavorful steak you ever had. You will be surprised. And some olive oil. I'm sorry, I forgot to say olive oil. The salt, don't add it until you flip your steak over.
Mhm.
That way you don't lose the juices from the
Mhm.
steak because the salt will absorb the juices from the salt. It seems simple, but if you try this, you will be surprised. So
Yeah.
this is a non-print on demand tip for the day.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to clip that and take that advice for the next steak I cook. That's really awesome. Thank you for that. So one of the things that I hated the most when it came to Amazon FBA is when I would go in and do so retail arbitrage, like in general or online arbitrage. I would buy like 100 of one product, and then I ship it in, and then by the time I ship it in, the sellers will kill the buy box. I'm like, dude, come on. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
And it's selling at a good price where your profit margins is good, and they'll kill it to where you're making like 30 cents. I'm like, why?
yes,
So
FBA was frustrated that way, but I would say Amazon was designed to be that way. Amazon was designed to be a platform where sellers will keep competing each other to the point where Amazon will be able to offer the best price out there.
yeah.
That's why Amazon beats other websites because in other websites, no one is competing. It's the website selling the product. On Amazon, it's these people. Someone says, "Okay, I'm gonna make $10 profit." The other person comes in and says, "You know what? I'll be happy with five." The other one says, "I can take two." The
Yeah.
other one says, "I can only take one."
Yep.
And that's how Amazon is. Plus, if anything can come from China or Chinese can compete with us now on Amazon, just forget it. You can just walk away.
No, so when it comes to what's your favorite print on demand platform when it comes to print on demand?
Oh, merch fans.
Merch by Amazon.
On that, definitely. I love Etsy, but
Uh-huh.
merch by Amazon. The fact that we don't have to do any customer service, the fact that we don't have to worry about carrying any inventory or dealing with any print partners or anything of the sort is just amazing. Like, what do you figure? Like on merch by Amazon, basically, you can be a digital nomad. You can just take your laptop with you anywhere you want in the world
Mhm.
with no inventory, no nothing, and money's going to your bank account.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's crazy. It's crazy that you say that because I have a few people that reached out to me like I'm not doing Etsy this year, RJ, because of the customer service. Like the customers are not getting their products using these third party print providers. They're not getting their products on time for in Q4, and I'm having to refund them and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dude, that's like kind of like part of the game. But you have to kind of make it clear with your customer that they're not going to get their product on time. But they're like, I'm over that. I'm not doing it. I'm just like, oh, okay. But I think, yeah, Etsy's an awesome opportunity.
That's
Um,
an awesome opportunity. Too bad this year it's the pandemic. I don't think it will this problem will be here for long. Hopefully, with this vaccine and everything, this pandemic will be over.
mhm.
But for the time being, it has been horrible with the customer service.
Yeah,
I feel like I have to keep replying to people all the time, and especially because we got spoiled on Merch by Amazon. You
yeah,
just hear the ching and you have no idea who bought it, what they bought, or whatever. I mean, you have no idea what's going on behind the curtains. All you know is you just made the money.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes you don't even look at the sales to see what's sold. You just hear the ching and that's it. Uh,
yeah. No, that,
so that made us a little spoiled, and that kind of raised the bar. And it made it a little bit more frustrating to deal with the customer service. And Etsy has been horrible, like I said, in customer service this year.
Yeah. No, for sure. So when it comes, so you merch by Amazon, okay. When it comes to research, like where do you do your research at? Like where's your favorite spot to do research at on online? Anywhere. It can be Google, it can be Etsy, it can be Redbubble, your phone.
Right here,
Where
and
you,
I'm gonna tell you guys this little tip. I keep saying that research is overrated. Even though I wrote that big post about research, I keep saying that research is overrated. I just wrote that post for people that want to actually do research, explain what research is supposed to be.
yeah.
But uh, you can fill a tier 100K with just dog shirts.
Yeah.
There are, if I remember, there are like 335 AKC recognized dog breeds. And there are maybe another thousands that are not AKC recognized. And even those thousands that are not recognized, they are popular dogs. They are popular dogs. They're not just, for example, the Chepsky, which is a mix between the German Shepherd and the Husky, is not an AKC recognized dog. But there are still tens of thousands of Chepskys pets across the US. So I'm saying you can fill a tier 100K with just dog. So research, I'm done. Okay, I got the dog niche. I can create 17,000 uh, different designs and put them across different products, and I'm done with research. So basically, this is the research. But the real research that I'll talk about when I showed my phone is you got to be able to find a quote, and that research happens all the time when you're watching TV, when you're listening to a show, when you're doing comedy. My biggest recipient on my messages is myself. I send myself tons of messages every day just with ideas for t-shirt quotes. I just texting myself. Every time I get an idea, I text it to myself. So really the research should be the quote that you're going to put on a t-shirt. And that's very important. That's really what sells. The quote is more powerful even than the image because the quote actually is what people identify with. That's what like if someone is into politics, that's the quote that attracts them. If somebody's into dogs, that's the quote that attracts them. If somebody is into whatever it is, it's the quote that they identify with. It needs to be something that people are not only like, but it would be something that people need to put on their chest so they can show it to the world. Like, look at me.
Yeah.
Okay. Proud, proud Gerberian Chepsky mom. You want to tell the whole world that she's a proud Chepsky mom.
Yeah.
And you created that for her. So now the quote is very important, and now the illustration or the design comes in second. It's not that it's not important, but it comes in second. Now that's convince them that okay, you like the quote about the whole design and the whole how the whole layout work together, and that's when you convince them. So that's why I say research should be done at every moment, and anytime you get an idea, text it to yourself.
So like the quotes, like basically kind of like so quotes like funny sayings, right? That's what you mean by that, and like catchy sayings, right? Because you can see like sayings that rhyme or make like kind of like make you smile. Like, oh, okay, that's a good one. You know what I mean? And I think also too, just paying attention to like what you just said, like yourself, right? You're out in public, right? And you're seeing people walk by with the shirt on. You're gonna see people wear shirts that are like they're trying to make a statement with their shirt or trying to like let people know who they are, right? This is what I like to do. And I seen a shirt the other day said reading is sexy. So I can see her that she enjoys reading, but if she can like she's looking for a man or a woman, I don't know, I don't care, I don't want to get into that, but that enjoys reading, and that's something that she likes to do, and she's looking for somebody, you know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. So I was like, interesting.
Yeah, and also like when you look at for example political things, or when somebody has a t-shirt that has a political statement, it's almost like if it's a warning when they wear that t-shirt and they say, for example, the t-shirt, let's just think of something real quick, like I don't know, like I discriminate against discrimination. I just think that's what t-shirt is. So when somebody's wearing that t-shirt and you're meeting them somewhere or you're talking to them somewhere, you know, if if you're someone who discriminates, you know that you're not bringing up those subjects with that guy because he's going to eat you alive. Because
Yeah.
not only he stands up for justice, but he's actually wearing it on a t-shirt and he's ready to defend it.
Yeah.
So it's like a statement when people do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, for sure. No, I think learning that like what people wear on their shirt is interesting because you notice that people are very like they're making a statement. They're very blunt about what they wear sometimes, right? And it's crazy because it's a whole different world over there. And there's a ton of people in the community that crush with like the political niche, but they won't talk about it as much because it's a really if someone says something, you can literally make $1,000 the next day just by like one design, right? That takes off.
Yes, exactly.
So they're not going to talk about it.
Yes. If you wanna follow the trends and you wanna follow the trends, I mean the key with that, and I keep telling people, I mean not everyone can be first. Not everyone
Yeah.
can be first. I mean there are hundreds of thousands of merchants, I think, and not everyone can be first. But with the trends, you have to be first. Let's say, for example, the funny quote is the 49th president of the United States, I don't name anyone, said, "Let there be freedom,"
Mm-hmm.
and that thing just started trending. And you're the first guy that put that phrase on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You put that phrase in your title. This is important. You have to put it in your title, in the beginning of your title. If it's a trending quote, if it's something that people are going to search for, you want to make sure that it's in your title and it's in the beginning of your title. So if people start going on Amazon and searching for "Let There Be Freedom" shirt, then you're popping up first.
Yeah.
Then you fast forward 10 hours, and now there are 7,000 shirts that says "Let There Be Freedom."
Yep.
And then everyone is wondering how come your shirt has a 2K BSR and theirs hasn't sold yet, even
Yeah.
though they put a $50 budget on AMS on it. But the problem is everyone is doing that. Everyone is putting a $50 budget. And the proof for that is you go look at your AMS platform and you notice that you put $50 budget, but you only had 72 impressions and one click.
Mm-hmm.
That means your shirt is not being shown. That means the other 10,000 people that were ahead of you are all displaying ahead of you in the search result. And you guys are now going through what is called a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And the first guy that was in and earned that spot and got the first 100 quick sales, he got the stamp from Amazon not to be part of the rotation, but to actually sit there. He lived on page one. He's the top result, and they show him for everything. And then once you start selling for "Let There Be Freedom," and you have other keywords like political shirt or Democrat, Republican, whatever, then Amazon starts thinking, okay, this shirt is doing well for these keywords. We gotta try them out for these other keywords. So they start showing you even somebody that doesn't search for the exact phrase "Let There Be Freedom,"
Mm-hmm.
it just searches for funny Republican T-shirt, and your shirt just pops up there, and then it gets sales. Why? Because people weren't thinking about that, but as soon as they saw that, they go like, "Oh my God, that's what the 49th president of the United States just said, John McKinley or whatever."
Yeah. No. It's interesting how the algorithm and all that stuff works because you can get confused over that, right? And not like it's kind of hard to like you can kind of test with it and kind of understand it as best as possible with the algorithm, but you really don't know how it works, but you kind of have an idea how like you can see like they're rotating products on the front page, and next thing you're number one, the next day you're number 7, and then next day you're number 1, and then next day you're number 15, and then you're number 1. It's weird, right? And it's crazy.
Because of that, I call it reshuffling the deck.
Yeah.
Amazon used to reshuffle the deck like once a year or once every 18 months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember when I first started with merch by Amazon, there used to be some people that owned the top spots, even for things like funny T-shirts for men.
Yeah.
They owned that. Like for example, you remember the ugly T-shirt? I paused my game to be here.
Yeah.
That shirt made a killing. It used to go down to like 1K BSR around Christmas, and then spend the rest of the year like under 50K. So that person probably retired.
Yeah.
He made tons of money just from that T-shirt. But it was a bad thing for Amazon. It was a bad thing for Amazon because if somebody goes on Amazon and searches for a gamer T-shirt, they see that shirt, they see that list, And then they come back next week and they see that same exact list. They got to keep going further and further in the pages until they find something new. So Amazon figured, you know what? We have to show our gamers the new t-shirts that came to the market. So Amazon started showing more new uploads than they used to. So they gave them a little more exposure than they ever did before.
Yeah.
And this reshuffling of the deck now is happening a lot more often. And I struggle with this because I had a political shirt that was killing it when I first uploaded it. And I was thinking that by the time the elections will come, this shirt is going to be sub 1,000 BSR. And that's it. I was picking my boat already. And, good thing I didn't give a down payment. So, at like 2 months before the election, that shirt disappeared from the search pages. It disappeared. I mean, this is a shirt that racked up 25 reviews in 2 months.
Nice.
And just disappeared in this. You couldn't find it organically in any way. So I'm saying Amazon is shuffling it there, and that led me to change my pricing strategy. Because if I'm going to list something cheap in order to rank it, and pay AMS in order to rank it, and then finally, by the time I rank it, Amazon reshuffles the deck, and all that ranking disappears, then I don't need to do that. Then I figured, may as well just make the money from the beginning. So I raised all my prices, and I was averaging above $6 for Christmas in royalties between all the products. So I mean, I'm telling myself like, wow, what if I was averaging $3 or $2.50 or whatever? So I'm happy I did that, and I plan on continuing to do that unless I see that there is a change in the algorithm again.
So also too, just adding to that, it just like it's part of the game when you're chasing like when you're like messing with the trends. It disappears sometimes, right? One day you can be doing some really good numbers, and then the next day it's gone, right?
Yes.
And that's part of the game. And some people are like, how come my shirt's not selling no more? Well, it's because they're not talking about it no more. It's already over. It was just a 1 day thing sometimes. Sometimes it's a 1 day thing, right? But sometimes it could be 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. But I want you guys to think about it as like a bonus, right? On top of what you're doing. Because if you can create a design within 30 seconds and make $300 in 1 day, the next day, it's a bonus, right? It's not like, but then the next day it disappears, but it's a bonus for I like to say a bonus for that month on top of everything else. So don't get attached to that product that's selling over and over and over and over.
And you have to be able to think outside of the box. Sometimes that trend that lasts a day or 3 months or something like you said, sometimes you can recycle the t-shirt.
Yeah.
And what I mean by recycling is, I'll give an example right now. It's too late for this, guys, now. I did that and I had some good success with it. Some friends did as well. The elections was November 3rd. People were in political shirts for 2 years now, 3 years or more, whatever. They're getting ready for this election. And then once the election happened, everyone says, okay, these shirts are done. But what people didn't realize, if you just went on your listing, removed Biden for president shirt or whatever, you had a t-shirt that says Biden 2020. And you just add, instead of that, you put Biden inauguration shirt. You just gave yourself an extension of 3 months. The inauguration is not till January 20th. So now all those shirts that you already had just by editing one word are now just all received an extension for 3 months. If you go on Amazon right now and type in Biden and the letter I, Amazon would suggest Biden inauguration shirt. So you can extend the life of your shirts after the trend if you know first they have to be relevant to whatever you're trying to tie them into. But if you know how to tie them to upcoming stuff, you can extend their lives.
Yeah, no, okay, that's interesting because literally, I believe someone's going to do that. But the idea behind this, guys, it's like you're going to see these top selling designs up there, and don't be copying any of these designs. But the thing is, it's like you're going to see how they're ranking, right, and they're selling, and they're in the algorithm as we talked about before, because you can be the number one in the trend, and then you create another design behind it, and then it won't sell. right? Because you're number one, you got that real estate, and then you're that number one spot, and it's crazy how that works because you can't compete with it. Sometimes you can't even compete with yourself. You can't you can't copy your design and beat it.
Sometimes you sell and it's selling great for you, and you think, okay, wow, I made that in 2 minutes. I'm going now to take my time and make even a better design. So you make a better design, take your time making the keywords and everything and stuff, and then even copying the keywords from the first one, even whatever, and then you put AMS behind it, and the second one never takes off, even though you judge it to be better than the first one that you just whipped out really quick.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So, well, you gave us some really good, awesome tips already. Can you? So when when it's starting, let's say someone's a new person starting merch by Amazon, or just new with print on demand in general. Okay, what kind of tips can you give someone they're just starting out?
Okay, the first tip that I'll tell you is that if you come into merch by Amazon, you got to tell yourself that you can't keep the milk and the milk's money. This is the saying from overseas. You have to decide, what do you want? You either have to learn design, or you have learn how to design, or you have to have money to hire people to design for you. But in either case, I would still say it is highly recommendable that you go and learn how to design. At least you can be able to judge the quality that those designers are making for you. Because I get tons of messages from people, and they send me this design. They say, oh, this designer on Fiverr or Upwork, whatever, created this for me, and I wonder why it's not selling. Can you look at the keywords or whatever? And I tell them, I don't even need to look at the keywords. I know that niche, and I know that this design does not stand a chance against the designs in that niche. But because they're not a designer, and they paid somebody $5 to make them a design, and they sent them something with a circle and a bunch of retro colors or whatever, they think like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, wow. It looks cool to them, not to the rest of America who has to compare you with the other top designers out there who are fighting for the search page. So I'm saying, first tip is to learn how to design. The second tip is to have a good evaluation of your capabilities. And this part, I wrote a post about it. People skip this part. I mean, you can be a good boxer, but if you're a flyweight, you cannot be fighting against the heavyweights out there. They're gonna knock you out dead cold. You're never going to stand a chance.
Yeah.
But if you are a little guy like Mayweather, he's a super rich guy in his category. He's fighting people his size. He's not fighting no Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson and whatever. So you have to, before you enter a niche, tell yourself, look at the designs that are in that niche, and tell yourself, can I, or with my $5 designer, can we join this niche? And I gave an example in my post of the biker niche. You know, the bikers niche, they have all these like big designs with the motorcycles, you know, the choppers and this and the flags and verses from the Bible or whatever. And they all look like so intricate and stuff. All these banners and stuff on them.
Yeah.
And then you have your $5 designer make you I love choppers, and you're trying to compete with those guys. This is not even bringing a knife to a gunfight. This is bringing a noodle to a gunfight. You know, so basically you're sentencing yourself to death. So
that's a good example.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that once you know your skills, I'm not saying that your design, I'm not making fun of your design. I'm just saying that you can take that style, those capabilities, and apply them in an easier niche where the competition is easier. Something that you can put a piece of clip art and a catchy quote and still be able to compete and blend in with those guys. But if you go in somewhere with the heavyweights, you're gonna get yourself killed. You're never going to succeed with those people.
Yeah. No. Okay. No, it's some good examples. I like how you told the story behind it and then show the examples. So that's really awesome. So now, what are your goals for 2021? And the idea behind this right here is maybe you can inspire somebody that's watching this and maybe help them out. Maybe they're struggling with something, or maybe they're just, it's going to lead into the next question where they can follow you and stuff like that. So what are your goals for 2021 this year?
My goals, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you as much as I'm honest with myself. I have to admit my weakness first, and I have to work on it.
Mhm.
My weakness is that I am a professional procrastinator.
Yeah.
And this is something that most people who are on the artistic side tend to struggle with. We don't like to mass produce. I
Yeah.
like to sit there and create a design and make it look nice or whatever stuff and that and go and upload it, maybe do another one and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm telling myself that I need to start mass producing. I need to start uploading a lot more designs. Like this year, I'm telling myself I can only blame myself for having 20,000 slots empty for
Mhm.
people. I mean, 20,000, 80,000 slots, only 20,000 slots filled for Q4.
Mhm.
And I had plenty of time to fill them.
Yeah.
And I have friends who were going at the same progress as I was and did fill them. So those are 80,000 slots that didn't make money for me. So for me, my goal for 2020 is to, I mean, 2021. We're haunted with that 2020 everywhere. My goal is to start uploading more
Mhm.
and uh, just fill in those slots.
Nice.
I don't shy away from any products. I upload to all products, and I am successful with a bunch of different products. It depends on the design. Some
Mhm.
things sell better on the hoodie. Some things sell better on the tank top. Some things sell better on a pillowcase. So I'll let the customers judge it. Just upload everything, and then if I run out of slots ever before the end of the year, then I'm going to go back and reevaluate what's not selling for me, and then delete those things so I can upload some more standard T-shirts or whatever.
Yeah. No, interesting, man. Thank you for sharing that right there. That's
Oh,
really
you
cool.
are.
I think people that can relate to that too as well. Like, I've reached a few people reach out to me like, hey, like I'm like, dude, you gotta get your ass to work. You gotta just, you know what I mean? Just get focus. Close all them damn tabs. Put your phone on airplane mode. Throw it out the window if you have to, and just work for the whole year and double down on, like, if you see something working, double down on it. Keep going, and then if you see something else working, double down on it and just keep going, man. And then next thing you know, it 2 years will pass by, a year will pass by, and you're like, dude, now I'm making some good money. Now it's also too, it just, there's more competition there, as it creates, like, people are going to see that there's more competition in pretty much anything they do, right? If people are having success with it, other people are going to figure it out sooner or later. But there's always room for opportunity within what you're doing. There's always an opportunity within an
There is
opportunity.
always an opportunity, and there is always room for bringing in new ideas and new concepts. People keep thinking that everything that we might be able to think of, somebody had already thought of it, and that is not true.
Yeah.
And if you think print on demand has exhausted everything there is to all the ideas that are to upload to and print on demand, just think of the language. Talk.
Mhm.
We've been talking for 4.5 billion years. I don't know how many, whatever, 50, whatever. And think of a comedian. That's what he sells. He sells talk.
Mhm.
And then you get a comedian in 2021 come up with a new quote that he's going to go on stage and say to the people something
Mhm.
that they never heard before, and he's going to have 10,000 people cracking up laughing
Yeah.
because it was something new. But the challenge that he has is that you only have to come up with one quote. That comedian has to come up with 2 hours worth of new quotes
Yeah.
so he can tell people. And every day, every month, every year, people are doing that. And they're coming in with new comedy scripts, and
Mhm.
they're successful. So if you tell me that you cannot come up with one quote, I would tell you that comedians must be dead.
Yeah.
And plus, for you, a comedian cannot go there and say an inspirational quote.
Yeah.
If you can say comedy, you can say an inspirational quote. You can say a workout quote. You can say a quote about, I don't know, some kind of craft or art or job, or you know what I mean. Like I said earlier, carpenters.
Yeah.
You know that shirt, like somebody like it says it's not sawdust, it's carpenter
Yeah.
whatever.
Carpenter or glitter, or it's not sawdust, is or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that quote, somebody thought of that quote and put it on a T-shirt and thought it was funny. Then half of the world copied him. It's unfortunate, you know, but half the world copied them, and it was smart. It was a new quote. So can you be the next guy that's going to come up with a quote for carpenters?
Yeah.
I mean, carpenters are out there. There are
Yeah.
people that are carpenters out there right now and that are proud to wear your new quote. You haven't come up with it yet. Come up with it. And like I
Yeah.
said, always, if you are not good at coming up with quotes, I am pretty sure that you have somebody in your family or friends or whatever you hang out with, and
Yeah.
that is a funny guy or someone who can just spit up quotes like nothing. And just
Yeah.
ask them, tell them, listen, I have this funny t-shirt business and I'm working on this carpenter niche. What do you think is a funny quote? Something that's not too long that I can put on a t-shirt that you think carpenters will find funny. And whatever he tells you, just write it down on
Yeah.
your phone and a note or whatever and go and create a t-shirt. This would be something new that nobody ever heard.
Yeah.
And when
No,
people go on Amazon, they're just going to type carpenter shirt or carpenter t-shirt for men or whatever on Amazon, and sooner or later your quote will be in the results.
yeah.
And if
I,
they like it and buy it, then all of a sudden you're killing it with
me, me personally, I just invite my grandpa over and give him some tequila, and then he'll start saying some funny stuff to me, and then just start writing it down. Just
and you have the advantage. There's a large Latino population in the United States,
kidding.
and you have your grandpa. I understand you're not that great in Spanish, but you have your grandpa who can help you with this. Oh my God!
Yeah.
I mean, you could be getting some funny Spanish quotes and dominating.
Yeah.
You could be killing it.
Then that's crazy too, because you say that, right? As we get new marketplaces, you understand that there's certain, like, it's bigger than just what you thought was just like the audience, like, English audience, right? People just speaking English. It's bigger than that. And then it opens up your eyes to more opportunity. You see how, dude, I was thinking small. Now there's, like, I can do stuff in different languages, and I've created a few of those, and they're like my top sellers, and they sell. I'm just like, so you can do that, and you can create other languages for a design, right? That makes sense to people, that relate to people, and that's big because a person shopping on Amazon maybe speaks only Spanish, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. There's so many different languages. Think about that, and there's 7 different marketplaces we can upload to. There's probably over I don't know how many languages they are, but there's a ton of different languages that people speak. So you're not just targeting one person; you can target multiple people. So it's a huge opportunity. So
Definitely. It almost feels like when you go to Home Depot and you're trying to pick a color for your wall,
uh-huh.
and you say, okay, I'm thinking about a light brown. And the guy goes, okay, a light brown. He brings in this like keychain looking thing. And then he spreads it open. And there's like 17,000 different shades of light brown until your head hurts. You're like, oh my God, there are all these shades.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with the t-shirt business. You find a niche, and then there are all these little divisions that you open in that keychain that you can target.
Yeah.
For example, targeting a carpenter, I wonder, is there a T-shirt for a retired carpenter or a retired steel worker? I mean,
Mhm.
there are T-shirts for retired people. There are
Yep.
T-shirts for carpenters, and there are T-shirts for steel workers. Are there T-shirts for retired steel workers that
Mhm.
somebody's going to see on Amazon and going to say, "Oh, my dad just retired last year. He's going to love this T-shirt."
Yeah.
So this might be a niche. And then let me
Yep.
ask you: all those T-shirts that are made for steel workers, for example, are made with the gray and the white and whatever font on a black T-shirt. Did you ever wonder if there are any women that are steel workers? Maybe they would prefer a little purple and pink or whatever. And if you're the only one in the search result that's offering little feminine colors for those for that demographic, you're going to be the more likely to sell to that demographic. When everyone is, unfortunately, it's a sexist society. Everyone, okay, when I say everyone, I mean most people. When they create a design, the idea that they have in mind when they're creating, especially for things that seem neutral, like a job
Mhm.
or astronomy or physics or whatever. It's like they have this thing in mind where they're designing for a man, and it's
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah.
I mean, you can create an astronomy T-shirt for women.
Yeah.
What? Why the astronaut could not be wearing? You make the astronaut suit like a shade of pink and create some elements that makes the whole design look a little feminine. Something that would It would appeal to girls that are into astronomy.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm.
No, it's a there's crazy because he literally you think you created it all for your niche, right? And you haven't even done it all yet, right? And there's more within that niche that you can create and then sub niche down and create even more, right? So it's crazy.
Every you can do that with.
So coming to an end, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Where can people follow you at? Where do you want them to follow you at? Like what, or you don't like, what do you?
I have a Facebook group, and
Mhm.
I called it Merch by Amazon Public School. And the reason behind that is
Mhm.
because I had a little funny story. When I was helping people back in the thing, I had one admin from one group that contacted me and said, "Wow, I can't believe all these people are messaging me and saying that you're spamming. They think I'm selling something because I was
Yeah.
trying to." They couldn't believe that somebody is just trying to help. So
Mhm.
they, so I create this public school uh, group, meaning that means I don't sell anything. I'm not charging you for anything. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that it's wrong to sell. It's good. If you have some value to sell to people, go ahead, please, and do it. Just for me, I don't intend to sell anything. I don't intend to make money from the community. I'm going to make money from merch by Amazon. The community helps me to stay in check and
Yeah.
working because I'm associating with the people from the same community that are doing the same thing. So I have that group, Merch by Amazon Public School. I have a YouTube channel that I'm kind of neglecting, but I should get back to it. One of my goals for 2021 is to get back to uploading some videos.
Mhm.
It's called Merch Public School. That's the YouTube channel's name.
Mhm.
And I'm also available in Facebook under my own name. You can find me in the Mastermind group, in the Momentum group,
Mhm.
and I hang out too. And I hang out in every group. I
Mhm.
try to be friendly with everyone. I try to make the least enemies as I can, uh, and that's me.
Okay, awesome, Samir. Thank you. I really, I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time to share some knowledge with people, and hopefully this helps you. This is, of course, supposed to provide value and give you guys an understanding because you never know. One person might say something that can change your whole life and maybe inspire you to do something that you thought you couldn't do, right? And it's a really amazing thing to do and figure out because as we talked at the very beginning of this before you press record, it was just like, you know, sometimes you're your own it's your own competition, right, in your mind, and to overcome that, sometimes you just have to start doing it, and then once you start doing it, it starts to get easier for you, and anything that's holding you back, just dude, get to work, get it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it right there, guys. Thank you very much. Any final sayings? Anything? You
Uh,
good?
my final phrase to you guys is this: stop failing in other people's shoes.
Yeah.
Work by Amazon is your opportunity to prove who you are, to prove that you can succeed with your own stuff, that you can be creative, create your own stuff, and succeed.
Mhm.
But most people are failing in other people's shoes. Those who
Yeah.
are copying what others are doing and failing are failing in other people's shoes, and then they end up judging themselves as being a fail, and
Mhm.
it's not true.
Yeah.
Before you judge yourself, fail in your own shoes,
Yeah.
and that will at least help you and give you feedback on what you can change.
Awesome. Okay. All right, guys. Like I said, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and thank you guys.